Hi, what's up, Algebra 2? Quick video this week. You're doing sum and difference of cubes, our favorite. Right? We did that this year. Very somewhat similar to difference of squares, which we did last week. And like all these A's and B's over here, right? Those always confuse us and they're kind of weird, but that's just how we like to generalize a problem. All right, so again, like I said, the left side of both of these formulas here is just the problem. Okay, that's going to be your problem. Obviously, it won't be A's and B's when you actually do the problem, but we're going to find out what those A's and B's are as we're doing the problem so that we know where to put our answers, right? And our answers are over here to the right. This is how we factor them. Sum of cubes factors into this, a plus b, and then in the second parenthesis, a squared minus ab plus b squared. And then difference of cubes factors into a minus b. And then in the second parenthesis is a squared plus ab plus b squared. All right. So let's hop on in here. What the heck? Where do we get a and b? Well, kind of like last week on difference of squares, I'm going to take the cube root of both terms, right? The cube root of x cubed, remember they cancel each other out. So my a is just going to be x. And then if you remember the cube root of 8, which is going to be our b value, is 2. Right? I gave you the perfect cubes this year, but if you have to, you can probably find them online or think about what three numbers multiply together to get 8. 2 times 2 times 2. Okay, however you want to do that. But there we go. We got our a and b. And now it's easy. We just go over here and plug it into that. So when I factor it, it's going to be, oh, I'm writing an a plus b, which is, sorry, a minus b, so x minus 2. And then a squared, which means I got to take my x and I got to square him. And then it's a times b. Well, that's 2 times x, so 2x. And then lastly is b squared. So if b is 2, if I square him, he becomes a4. And there you go. You factored that difference of cubes. That simple. Okay? We should be able to do that. It's been a while, but we did focus on this for a pretty decently long period of time. So another one. Again, you start off by finding a and b, which means you got to take the cube root of both terms, not the square root, the cube root. So a, what's the cube root of 8? Well, it's 2. And remember, the little cube and the little power of 3, they undo each other. They cancel each other out. So I just get 2x. And then my b, well, the cube root of 343 is 7. I believe. Pretty sure. Gonna go with it. I'm about 99.9% sure it's 7. Don't even need to look. Okay, so again, if you need to look online to find the perfect cubes, that's fine. Again, or if you're not sure, just if you think it's 7, do 7 times 7 times 7, and you'll get 343. So that's how you find your A and your B. Now let's go plug them in. It starts off A minus B, so 2x minus 7. And then it's A squared. This was a mistake we made a lot during the year. If I need to square A, I got to square the 2 and the x, so it becomes 4x squared. Plus, a times b, well, 2x times 7 is 14x. And then plus b squared, I got to square 7, so that makes him a 49. Cha-cha. Difference of cubes. So notice I just give you technically the same exact problem right here on number 3 on this example, and I think I do this on your assignment. The only thing that changes is it's a plus sign in the middle. But I still find a, which in this case is going to be x. I still find b, which in this case is going to be 2. Cube root both terms. But now it's going to be a plus b. So x plus 2. And then a squared. So if I square x, it's x squared. And then right here, it's a minus sign. A times b is 2 times x, or x times 2, which is 2x. Plus b squared. So if I square 2, I get a 4. So very similar to the first one we got, because it is technically the same problem almost. I just changed it from difference to sum. So it's looks pretty similar. Just make sure that you're paying attention to this sign and this sign, depending on if you're doing sum or difference of cubes. And then the fourth one here, again, I take the cube root of the first term and the cube root of the second term. So a is going to be 2x. Again, the cube root of 8 is 2. The cube root of x cubed is x. And b is going to be 7. So a plus b, so 2x plus 7. Again, a squared means you got to square both of these, this 2 and this x, so it becomes 4x squared. Minus, in this case, because it's sum of cubes, so use the right formula. A times b is 2x times 7, or 14x. And then plus b squared, so if I square 7, I get 49. And that is all you're going to do this week, all right? Sum and difference of cubes. Make sure you start off by finding a and b like I did on my problems, by taking the cube root of the first and the second term. And then make sure you're plugging the a and the b into their correct spots. And remember, right here, if it's a squared, so I got to square whatever this is, the number and the variable. And remember, you know it's sum or difference of cubes because the power is 3. There are 2 terms, and there is addition or subtraction in the middle. All right, we couldn't use difference of squares on this problem right here, right? If I have x cubed minus 8, why can't I use difference of squares? Well, because that's not a perfect square. That's not a perfect square, right? Neither one of those are perfect squares. So I can't use difference of squares. I have to use difference of cubes. All right, so that's your assignment this week. Again, another review. Make sure we're keeping up with some of the stuff we've done this year. If you have any questions, email me, text me, get a hold of me. This is your last week, your last assignment. It's been a weird year, obviously. Again, I miss all you guys. Wish I could see you. Hope to see some of you soon. And I hope you have a good break. See you guys as soon as possible.